Y'all feeling out there as y'all are logging in and whatnot? Just kind of want to get a pulse of the fan base and stuff. Let me see if I can get the lighting right. Right now, I'm at my workstation, so I'm trying to kill a couple birds with one stone. Wanted to talk to everybody about what their draft thoughts and stuff might be. Heading into this week, we want to have a start to the we want to have a great start to the week. You know what I'm saying? So figured I might get on here and we could talk a little bit of ball because that's what we do over here. We talk ball, and whoever wants to chime in, they can. As you enter, hit that like button, say what's up in the comments, and let's get it rolling a little bit today. This Monday is a little. I really need a good start to the week because my uncle's funeral I think is going to be on Saturday, so yeah, need a good start to the week. It's been a little weird, you know, but we've been adjusting. Family has been doing well, so appreciate everybody in their prayers and all that stuff. Appreciate everybody their prayers and people that have been popping in and whatnot. So I don't necessarily have any sound bites today to talk about. I don't have any agenda really. Only thing that I feel like, what's up, David Jenkins? Yeah, man. Should have let me know you was up there, man. Look, we definitely popped off 270, and we had a great weekend. What's up, Clemente? How you doing? Salute, salute, salute. So I've been reading a couple of articles from the Athletic, trying to prep for whatever I was going to talk about. I know John Machota did a mock draft, and maybe we can kind of talk about that. But I think he ended up taking Ted McMillan, Trey Amos, and we ended up with Dylan Sampson at the running back spot for our top three picks. And I'm not too mad at it. I'm not too mad at it. Only thing is, I still think with Dylan Sampson at the third round pick, the Cowboys are still looking for that running back. I don't think we would have solidified the run. So I think you would still have to enter the market for a running back if you get Dylan Sampson. And reading John Machota's article, it was like he could be the lead back, and it's like at this point, if it's like you could be the lead back, then that means that we're doing a committee thing, and not a fan of the committee thing. What's up, Angry Cowboys fan? What's up, my guy? What's up, man? Can't wait to get on the show with you this week. Can't wait to get on the show. You on the draft? I think you on the draft show panel, right? Because I know I'm definitely in it with Boss, and this will be the second year in a row that I'm tuning in with Boss and the crew, and excited about it. I want to say Cover 3 is going to make an appearance at a certain point because I know Tuck is going to be out in Green Bay, and I know me and Rome are going to lock in. So we're going to have this draft super show. I still don't know how. I still don't know how I'm gonna set everything up. I'm still trying to figure it out. Like as you guys can see over there, that's like my corner, which happens to be the living room. And I normally set my table up over there and set all my podcast equipment and stuff like that up. The issue that arises is this is also the home house of the funeral. So it's like it takes a lot to set everything up. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot to set everything up. So one thing I thought about doing is paying a tribute to my uncle, going down in his lair and setting up down there. That way I don't have to keep resetting up and stuff. The only thing about it is I don't know what the internet connection is going to be like. So I might do a couple of test runs this week to see how everything is going to be. But I'm excited about it, man. I mean, a lot of I know life can throw you obstacles. Life can throw you, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, life can throw you obstacles. But it's about how you bounce back and how you continue to move forward, how you learn from the things and how you know what I'm saying, can still get the things done that need to get done. So, all right, James Brown said, "Yo, can you shout out my man Babinks? Believe he just got a new set of grills and trying to make it as a rapper needs a little boost." All right, is it Babinks? How do I say it, man? Because I'll definitely give a shout out. Definitely. I'm look. You trying to make it as a rapper? You trying to make it in anything in the industry or anything that you want to do? Only thing I can really do is give you a little bit of advice. The advice comes from really just going down the wormhole of Kobe Bryant. Anything you want to get good at, you know what I'm saying? An hour a day, an hour a day, an hour a day, an hour a day. Part of this is my hour a day, right? An hour a day. And then you up it to 2 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? And as you keep chopping that tree, you'll just you'll put the hours in. They tell you that you don't become an expert at something until you put about 15,000 hours in. And if you're nowhere near that 15,000 hours, then you best you best believe that you need to be logging that time. You need to put that time in what you want to do. So I can give a boost. You know what I'm saying? That's my boost. My boost is advice. It's life advice. My own kids follow that. You know what I'm saying? Where whatever you want to do, you gotta put an hour a day towards it, and that's pretty much it. What's up, Professor O? How you doing? All right. Broaddus said he's hearing that running back shouldn't be written in pen at 44. He thinks 76 is more likely. Actually, isn't it funny how you know some of these conversations happen and then they might happen over here, they might happen on Tuck's channel, they might happen on Rome channel or whatnot, and all of a sudden people start talking about it. People start talking about it, and I think that'd be a mistake, personally. I think if Dallas goes into this and does that, we're going to be looking for a running back next year. But what I will say is last year the draft board fell, but it's not going to fall this year. It's not going to fall. Your Super Bowl champions, they overdid it at running back. The Baltimore Ravens, who had a deep run, they overdid it at running back. Everybody you look at right now, they were getting production from a lead back of some sort. So besides Kansas City, which I'm pretty sure Kansas City, you allow a running back in here, they're going. It is what it is. All right, Professor O says Dylan Sampson, R.J. Harvey, Damian Martinez will be possible 76 guys. And for me, of those guys, Damian's really my guy of those. Like I'm because I've said this before. R.J. Harvey and Dylan Sampson. I think you're still gonna have to get another running back. I don't think that completes your stable. I think if you just go with them and you go with what we got, Miles Sanders and Javante, I think you're going by committee. And for me, I think stable is the way you go. But it depends. Like it's weird. So both of those guys can play, right? Miles Sanders, Javante Williams, they can play. But it's like you get a certain dude in here that becomes a stable. That is not by committee. I think if you're trying to be complimentary to everybody, we've shown that we can't do that. We've shown that we struggle with it. So I do like R.J. Harvey. I like it. I like his potential. I don't know if I like his day one coming in here, but I like his potential. I think that he has his lateral quickness is second to probably Genty as far as being able to hoo 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 hoo. You know what I'm saying? Second to Genty. I do like that trait about him. I just don't think him or Samson are that tough. And I'm gonna say it right now. Maybe I'll be wrong. I just don't think they're that tough. I kind of want I want toughness. I want grit. I want tone setters. I want to set the tone. And I think that that's what we've been. That's what we've been missing. You got to set the tone, especially like if you're going to Green Bay and it's cold or something like that. Like all that lateral shit ain't gonna help you. It ain't gonna help you. And I do feel you about the creativity, but we need more tone than we need creativity. Like, I mean, we need more tone. That's just me. I don't know. I mean, when I call plays and I got a runner that sets the tone, it sets everything else up. It sets everything else up. And it's like, Angry Cowboys fan talked about it. He said that when you in there against a running back like that, when you're in there against running backs that's gonna thump your chest for 40 plays, it changes how you have to play defense. So I mean, I do like creativity. I feel like you can have both. I feel like you can have a guy that can set the tone and have some creativity. I do think that. And I think that there's a lot of those guys in this draft. I do. Like Martinez, for example. If those are the three you're giving me, give me Martinez. Give me Martinez. I mean, if you look at his production too, on top of that, I mean, the dude is a walking 6 yards a carry in college football at that size. That shit is crazy. It's crazy to me. It, and I like lean forward. I like I like lean forward in my backs. And Professor, I feel you. You like the Montgomery Gibbs model, and in actuality, really, if you look at how Detroit did it, Montgomery was never a slouch. Montgomery was a RB1 anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't say that about. I don't know at this point you say that about Miles Sanders, but at one point he was. Javonte Williams has never been that. We like how he runs, but he's never been an RB1 in the league. And I think really them bringing in Montgomery solidify it really set that up for them. I love it too. I do. But I also don't think that they were looking to complement those guys. I don't even know if they knew anybody was going. I don't even know if they knew that they were going to take Gibbs at that point. It's just weird how that happened for them. Um, I tell you what though, we're gonna have to find out some things about that Detroit team. We're gonna have to find out some things. We're gonna have to find out if these guys were as good as they were, or if Ben Johnson. And I really truly believe play caller matters. You know what I'm saying? Truly believe play calling matters. I do, and we'll see if we're better at it. Because we can want all these players until we're blue in the face, but until the coaching with these guys gets better, you know what I'm saying? We like it on paper, but ultimately the coaching is gonna have to work no matter who's in here. What up, CFT, my dog? I shot you the link. You probably at work. I figured you was at work, but I shot y'all the link out of courtesy anyway. Shot y'all the link anyway. Professor O says Williams is only 24. Maybe he has some juice left. I don't think it's a thing about juice. I I don't think it's a juice thing. Of course he has juice left. I mean, hell, we watched all these so-called washed backs last year coming here. Personally, I really wanted us to take a swing at Aaron Jones. I personally wanted us to take a swing at Aaron Jones. And then I felt like you could probably then, we'd probably be in a situation kind of how Detroit is, where you can go get like a then I'd feel better about a back at 76. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Aaron Jones has a hell of a lot of juice left. And Nick Chubb is still out there, so it's like I still want it sound crazy, but I know it's about to sound crazy. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm just super, super running back. Because actually you were the person who told me like, yo, this is the niche that I feel like, as a cowboy, it's a niche that needs to be covered. You know what I'm saying? So just like Vach has the O line niche, we needed the running back. So I'm happy to fulfill that. And that doesn't mean that I don't think that we should get wide receiver. I love wide receivers. I love safeties, to be honest with you. I actually think there's some really good safeties in this draft. I personally, I would rather get a safety than a corner. I know. Look, I know it's gonna sound crazy, and I know corner is a need. I know corner's a need, but some really good safeties can make your corner play much easier too. You know what I'm saying? If you can control that middle of the field, you can get you a really good safety. I really love like I like you watch the tape, you watch guys like Castro, you watch guys like Ransom, Xavier Watts. Like I've done drafts where you know what I'm saying. I know that Machota's draft has Amos in the second round. I'm looking at Watts, bro, and I'm like, you know, Xavier Watts, bro, is a walking All American. I like Amos. I like his. I like how technical he is. I like how technical he is. But here's the thing: we talk about defense. We talk about hitting the ground running. Hold on, let me make sure there's nothing crazy going on. All right, cool. Let me answer this real fast, guys. All right, so safety. We talk about running back being one of those positions where you hit the ground running and coming into the league. I kind of feel like safety is that for defense. You know, when you have a really good impactful safety, I feel like they kind of hit the ground running when they come in. And this year, you got Malachi, you got Xavier Watts, and then you got like a third round window where you got some guys that can play some damn ball. So you know, I don't want people to think that I haven't been looking at D tackle because I've been looking at D tackle, and I think that a lot of the time this year we have to focus on what it is. Like we keep saying, "Oh, it's a deep class," but there's a lot of three techniques, which is why there's a lot of three techniques in this draft. Which I don't have a problem with depth, but I feel like with Osa signing that deal, I imagine they're going to give him a lot more snaps. You know what I'm saying? So ideally, I'd like a guy that we're going to draft here where he has a little bit of both. One technique experience where he's a bigger guy, and he also has some three technique experience too. Like, and I also think that you might have to buy some guys to play that one. But I think that the focus, in my opinion, should be the depth of the one because Osa's already locked and they already have a plan there. So I kind of feel like the depth at one should be addressed before three. But sometimes it don't work that way. And I know that. But you know, I just didn't want you guys to think that I'm only solely focusing on running back. You know, because there are other positions. Linebacker being another one. Like I'll tell you, I don't know if O will agree or not, but hell, if we took Jahad Campbell at 12, I wouldn't be mad. I know Rome would be mad, but I'm just assuming like the top wide receivers are off the board or something like that, or just weird how the draft fall or something like that. Because that's a need too. It's a need, and I think over time that could be something like where it's like, damn, Dallas that linebacker core is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like we just oversell at something else, and then the free agency you kind of plug those holes. And again, Tuck says this analogy all the time. He says, "Not going to the store hungry," and that's what we're doing with the draft. We also have to realize that you're not going to fill your whole team with these draft picks. Like, I mean, we could still draft some guys, and we're still going to have to go to free agency. I'd rather just be really good at something. And if we just so happen to not be able to draft something, we got to pick it up in free agency. Oh, I like this one right here. Short dog, thank you for this because I wanted to talk about it. Short dog says my thoughts on Tyler Guyton, I guess based on what Duke said, and I really it sounded like Duke just said, dude just gotta get out of his own head. He can be whatever he wants to be if he can just get out of his own head. And it looked like that too when he played. It looked like he wasn't as sure of himself. It looked like he hadn't been playing football very long, which is the truth. So, you know, when you say that about a player, it doesn't mean that they're a bad player. It means that only that player can save himself. And all of that is up here. All of that is up here. I was one of those guys. I was one of those players coming up. So I know what that's like. Know what it's like to try and be perfect, to not mess up, and then when you do a good rep, it's like, all right, was it good enough? Was that good enough? Was that you start questioning yourself? And so I think that Duke is right with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just because they're at the pro level doesn't mean that this doesn't happen. Hell, it happens to veterans. It happens to people that have been around a long time where it's just like, do I still got it? I remember there's this boxer. Nah, there's this boxer. His name is Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez, after a performance that wasn't as good as he should have been, Teofimo was very, very young. But Teofimo had been a world champion, and he beat Lomachenko. He's fought and done some really electrifying stuff in boxing. And he said, "Do I still have it after a performance that wasn't as good?" I imagine Tyler Guyton being as young as he is, being on Front Street the way that he is, especially with the Cowboys, it could either make or break you. Hey, bro, get this clown out of here, man. Matter of fact, put user on timeout for forever, bro. Clown, I don't know what the hell this dude was talking about, bro. I think that sometimes during lives, trolls just come in and they try and get a reaction out of you. And, I ain't with the games, bro. I'll just put you on timeout for forever. It is what it is. But yeah, I think that was my thoughts on Guyton as far as that goes. I think Duke was really just saying that. He has all the tools. I worked with him. You know what I'm saying? He shows flashes, but he just got to put it all together, and that's up to him. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing the coaches can do. It's just a matter of you receiving the coaching, getting it, knowing it, and going out there and performing. And so I'd rather be into that than him just not simply being able to not play. So that's what I took from that. All right, so O said Jahad Campbell's really good. He has health issues. I'm not convinced he'll have a long career. And I'm glad you said that. Because for me, I think often, and I think this has hurt us, we keep trying to draft guys in the first round that's going to be around for 10 years. Like, in actuality, we just need those guys to last through that window that we have Dak Prescott and those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell, if I can get a really good 4 years out of that first round pick, then we just got a good 4 years out of it. And I know what that's. I hear me out when I say that. Hear me out when I say this. If you get too many guys that you're trying to get around for 10 years, that means that you might be giving in on instant impact, right? And think about this, right? Because Frederick was a 10-year guy in our minds. Zach Martin was a 10-year guy in our minds. Tyron Smith was a 10-year guy in our minds. Tyler Smith, 10-year guy in our minds. 3 of those guys didn't even make it 10. Had great careers. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't make it. Hall of Fame careers didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn. Doesn't mean that I regret the picks at all because I love the picks. Don't get me wrong. Like, Zach Martin is probably still. I actually would rank Zach Martin's pick. Like, when we picked him, my excitement over Zach Martin, I would pick that over CeeDee Lamb. And that says a lot because I was really high on Zach Martin. But I'm also saying, like, okay, look at CeeDee Lamb and look at the jolt it gave us. Look at Dez. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's time for us to go weapons. So somebody asked the question, are you team weapons? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We need a jolt in this fan base. We need a jolt. You know what I'm saying? We definitely need that. We need that energy. I don't know if any of y'all watched WrestleMania last night. That main event was a snoozer for me. Definitely was. They brought out Travis Scott like he was, gonna make every. I don't know. Like, to me, it was a snooze fest. The night before though, oh hell yeah, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I kind of think that you got to look at Saturday night opposed to Sunday night. And Sunday night the build up was good. You got to that main event, and I was. So I'm team weapon. I'm team weapons. Like, think about this, right? And I think that the Cowboys are team weapons too. I think they are. I think we all know that they're going. I think we all know that they're going receiver. I think we all know that. It's just which guy, which receiver is it going to be? All right. Professor O. No, it was Todd Church said the Saints like Jalen Walker. And here's what's intriguing about the draft. We like guys the way that we like them as far as players. But other organizations move different. They move different. And where we look at things from our lens and say, this guy should draft him, this guy should draft him, this team should draft him. Nobody in their right minds, like Professor O was talking about earlier, would have put our Cowboys lenses on and saw Detroit picking Jahmyr Gibbs the way that they did. And I'm not saying that it was right or wrong. I'm just saying other teams function differently. Their scouts are different. Their traditions are different. Their cultures are different. You don't know what they're looking for per se. You can kind of try and gather it from fan base and all that type of stuff. But think about this. How many times is national media wrong about the things that the Cowboys want? How many times are they wrong about the things that we want? So why would we expect them to be right about what other teams want or what other teams need or how other teams how their scouts work? We can't. You know what I'm saying? So it's real tough to kind of gauge. You can kind of try and use you can kind of try and use logic. Like, for example, I think Carolina needs to focus on defense. Some people think they can go receiver again. I think they need to focus on defense. But maybe they see something completely different. Maybe their grades are different and they're going to say, you know what? Hell, we love Shador. Like, I know we got our young quarterback, but like, because I would have never guessed a couple years ago that Kyler Murray would have been their guy when they gave up so much for Josh Rosen. I would have never guessed that. And there was a guy in the chat, in a Cowboys group chat, and he was just telling us Kyler Murray's their dude, Kyler Murray's their dude, Kyler Murray's their dude. And I'm like, bro, they just gave up all this for Josh Rosen and they didn't even give him an opportunity. But Cliff came in, Cliff wanted what Cliff wanted, and they made the move. I think really Shador is one of the most intriguing stories in this draft because it looks like he could be outside the first round, but it also looks like he could be a top 10 pick. I don't know that I've been around where there was such a contrast in what people think about Shador. I think we all want Shador to go before us. I think we all want Shador to go before us, right? Like, I'm hoping Shador goes before us. Like, hell, somebody throw Jackson Dart ass in there too. Like, I hope all three quarterbacks go before us, man. Like, because then that would make a trade down look to us and look feasible because there might be other positions. There might be somebody that wants to trade up and get a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah. Oh, Mr. Keemer brings up a good point. Everybody keep talking about Genty to the Raiders or The other day I said the Raiders could go corner. They could go Sanders. I know they got Geno, but Tom Brady is in that office. And guess who Shador used to work with, who he idolizes, who has a good relationship? Shador and Tom Brady have a great relationship. So, I mean, that's something to think about. Professor O said Travion Henderson is going round 1. Lock it. He's going before Caleb Johnson and maybe even Hampton. And here's the crazy thing about it. I don't think you're wrong. He could. He very well could. He very well could. You know what I'm saying? Because we look at people and we look at them a certain way. Like, for example, I said this earlier for me. Samson. I said Samson, RJ Harvey. Like, I personally, for what I'd want in the offense, I don't. I still think you would have to add to the room. You know what I'm saying? With those guys. Maybe somebody else feels different. Maybe they feel like Samson's higher on their board or RJ Harvey is higher on their board. You know what I'm saying? So Ty Church says the Broncos want a running back. Yeah, they definitely do. But they have not. See, the thing about it, when I look at their top 30 visits, they didn't hit the running back trail like we did. So I think they're looking for us to F up. I think they're looking for us to F up with one of these running backs. And hell, Quinshawn might go round 1, possibly. It just depends. Like, I know that the Broncos were high on him. It just depends. I think there's going to be a run on running back. I'm just going to call it. Last year, I knew that the run was going to be in round 4. I did know that. This year, I think the run is going to be late first round, early second round. I think that's where the run on running backs is going to go because of how running back impacted a couple franchises last year, and everybody's a copycat. And so now everybody's going to try and get back to the run. I don't know if you guys remember growing up. I don't know how old you guys are. I'm 38. But when I was growing up and playing football, everybody had an RB1. Everybody had one. It was a prerequisite to have an RB1. Nobody was really throwing like that. It was like you had to have an RB1 and you had to have a wide receiver 1. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't a whole bunch of slot. Oh, I got a slot here. Like, you were lucky to have a tight end if you had a tight end. You were lucky to have a tight end if you had a tight end that can catch and make plays. Like, we had that. Plus, on top of that, we had defense too. Dre the Great says, DMV, do you feel comfortable waiting for RB in the 5th? Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. If we get a running back in the 5th, you might as well tell Dak to count his days because he can get injured again. Because we're going to throw the ball 40 to 50 times. And I think that that's the issue that I have with our team. Is the balance, number one. But number two, we're asking them to go against their strengths again. That's like telling Michael Jordan to go play left-handed. We've shown you that we're good at run blocking. We've shown you that we can, when we are good at the run, that we can do play action. But we want our guys to drop back 45 to 50 times because we're paying them $60 million or whatever he is on the books. And I think that that's a mistake. People, what the Cowboys have to do is they got to stop trying to get a bang for their buck when they pay people. Like, you're paying them for what the market is, not what their role is. Like, you don't pay somebody to change their role. You don't pay somebody to get to become 2 to 3 players just because you paid them. Nobody else ever asked. Nobody else ever asked, to get more. When you, I mean, this is what it is on the market. This is what it is. Okay, worst case scenario, and they actually do wait until round 5 for running back. Who's the DMV pick there? Turn a lemon into lemonade. For me, Taj Brooks. I like Taj Brooks a lot. I like Kyle Monangai too. So, if you're getting a theme for, I kind of want a running back with heavy bones that falls forward. it's like they have their own way of creating, and the way that they create is by pressing the line of scrimmage. So that's huge for me. I love running backs that can press the line of scrimmage and fall forward. So my tone setters would be Brooks, Monungai, somebody of that stature. And I'm gonna tell you somebody they high on too. I'm gonna tell you somebody that they're high on that everybody has a question mark on. But the Dallas Cowboys absolutely love Ollie Gordon. They absolutely love Ollie Gordon. And that might be the guy that they take a chance on there. So I wouldn't rule out Ollie Gordon in the fifth. You know, they met with him at the combine. They brought him in for a top 30 visit. And I don't know if he was a local guy, but I know that the Cowboys love Ollie Gordon. I do know that. Enough for them to take a couple of looks at Ollie Gordon. I liked Ollie Gordon last year. This year, I don't know who that guy is. Again, though, we talk about this. Ollie can be anything Ollie wants to be. Is your head in the right spot? And can you perform and do the things with your opportunities? Because Ollie Gordon, if Ollie Gordon had the same type of production he had the year before, we're talking about Ollie Gordon as one of those top running backs. Probably around two tight. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so wait, Ty Church says Ollie Gordon tape was good and he was a local. So he was a local and he was a 30 and a combine. And he did the Senior Bowl. Like, I mean, they know everything there is to know about Ollie Gordon at this point. And Trader Gray said you can get Devin Neal or Kyle Monungai in the fifth. And Monungai was a guy that O put me on to. Professor O put me on the Monungai real early. So, I never forgot that guy. Never forgot him. Love Taj. Love Taj for sure. Yeah, Dre the Great says they saw the production they got out of undrafted free agent Rico, but this year they looked at running back a lot more than they have in recent years. So I think they're going to be aggressive this time. I'm I think they're going to be aggressive this time. I think Jerry's going to make them be aggressive this time. And also too, like if you look at who our coaches are, their identity as far as Clayton Adams. I forget who our old line coach is now out of Kansas State, but you just look at their history. They're gonna need somebody that is going to be able to just. You're not going to take a chance on a fifth round guy with these guys. I don't think. I think they're gonna. I'm trying to get everybody to get off the notion of 44. We can go 76. Nah, don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. This year, I think you get your guy because as I pointed out before, when you kick Dak's can down the road, the clock is ticking now. The clock is ticking now, so he needs somebody to hand the ball off to right now. He don't need a project back there. He had projects last year. Last year was a project, and it was a project the year before with Pollard and Rico. Dak needs something solidified back there now. He needs something solidified to throw the ball to because the guys that you drafted or the guys that you traded for, they obviously aren't that. So get him somebody to throw the ball to, get him somebody he can hand the ball off to. Somebody asked, I don't know, how would I feel if Dallas drafted an interior offensive lineman? I think at 12. They ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it. So I ain't worried about it. I know that Boss, I know that Lou, I know those guys are trying to push Booker, but Dallas ain't interested in Booker like that. They ain't interested in Booker like that. Maybe if it's the second round or something like that, I could feel it, but I don't think Dallas feels like they have an interior offensive lineman issue. I think if they feel like they have one, it's probably the left tackle. It's probably Guyton. It's probably the left tackle if they had an issue. Interior offensive line, I don't think that they feel like they have an issue there. Dre Gray says, would you be mad if we take Will Johnson at 12? Just depends on who's on the board. Depends on who's on the board, personally. But then I'd ask, what are you doing with Guyton? And what's your room for? I mean, what's your plan? Are you going to have him and still compete? Are you going to kick Will Johnson inside? Because I've heard that too. Heard about Will Johnson's arm length and people being concerned about that. I mean, I think drafting him at 12 to put him in that guard is a misuse of resources. Personally, I think that that's a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea. To me, I feel like, and I've been saying this for a while. I even said this about Booker. I feel like if you're going to draft the right guard to play right guard. And so you don't draft that high. That's probably maybe a 3rd round pick or a 5th round pick or something like that. But I'm drafting the right guard to play damn right guard. All right. Professor O said Eagles extend Cam Jurgens 4 years, $68 million. He did a hell of a job for them this year. I question whether he was going to be able to fill the shoes of a first ballot Hall of Famer in my eyes. And I think they got out of him what they needed to. And this is what I was saying about Tyron Smith last year, and it didn't happen. This is why I was trying to kick Tyler Smith out, because I was just like, Tyron's replacement has to be about 80% of what he was. It has to be about 80% out the gate. And I do think Cam Jurgens was that for the Eagles. I do think that. Brian Peters says, salute DMV in the chat. Yeah, man, y'all are on fire today, asking really good questions, really engaged. I had no idea what we were going to talk about. I just knew that I wanted to talk. I just knew that I wanted to engage with people that want to talk ball, with people that, that are going to push back on my ideas, but I can push back on theirs. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's up, Native Texan? Salute to you, too. My ideal pick at 12 is one of them receivers. I want Tet at 12. I want Tet. I'm team Tet and Genty. I don't think we're gonna get Genty. If Genty's there, I want Genty. I mean that's the number one guy. That's the number one player that I want. I want Genty. But I think realistically, I think Tet is probably the better chance there. Professor O said T-Mac is going to Jacksonville. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, my fallback plan, is one of the receivers, bro. It's gotta be Golden, Burden, or Ibuka. It's gotta be one of them. But that's where I'm at with that. More than likely it'll probably be Golden out of those, and I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset with any of them because I love all of them for different reasons. I love them all for different reasons, but I think you just stay pat. I think where you try to move up is 44. I've been saying that, and I'm going to keep pushing it out there. I would rather have 2 studs than to have 3 solid starters, because I could pick the 3rd one up in free agency. We got money. We done created that money, so be aggressive. Be aggressive with it. And like I would rather Asante Samuel Jr. be one of the corners, or hell, I mean, I know people want to trade for Ramsey. I mean, I'd be okay with that too. Okay, Professor O said T-Mac is going to give me Golden, Trey Amos, Carson Swetchinger, and then running back at 76. I don't like the running backs at 76 for what we're trying to do. I'm just keeping it a buck. And I can't guarantee that this corner, because here's the thing about corner. I'd rather get a vet because corner has a learning curve, and we're not patient enough for it. We're not patient enough for it right now. I would rather get a Band-Aid until Diggs can come back. I'd rather get a Band-Aid there. And it might be nuts. I mean, a good Band-Aid though. Like I want to spend, bro. I want to spend. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna have the patience for that young corner, no matter how good technically they are right now. Now, if you were gonna go corner, then I'd probably get one of the closer prospects to playing. I mean, but we've done it before. We've done the wide receiver combo and the corner combo, and it's worked out for us. It worked out for us with CD and Diggs. So maybe we can do it again. I don't know, but I would rather be aggressive at running back personally. I would rather be aggressive. I'd rather overdo it. I'd rather overdo it. I'm telling you. That way I don't gotta touch it again. I don't have to touch it again. Corner, we probably still gonna draft another corner. We're probably still gonna go corner again. Because your issue right now is Bland. What are you gonna do with Bland? Is Bland part of your future? Because he might not be. I'm moving up. I'm moving up from 44. That's what I would do. I would move up. I would. I know it's dangerous, but bro, we got to do something. We sit back too much. We let things fall to us, and they don't fall to us. But I mean, if it's Damian Martinez at 76, I ain't mad at it. If it's, I'm just, I'm expecting a run. I'm expecting a run on running backs, and hell, somebody might think more of RJ Harvey too. Like just because we like him, don't mean that somebody else don't like him and won't snap him before 76. I don't like having. I'd rather have a plethora to pick from than to have. Okay, we could do that. Okay, we could do that. You could say they need corner and say corner said. Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. Like I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if Damian Martinez was the guy, but that makes it to where it's only one guy that I really like. I'd be straight with it. I'd be straight. Schlesinger, I like him. I like him. Yeah. So yeah, that's my point, Brian. Like I don't like playing the waiting game when it comes to. Hold on, wait. I don't know if it cut off or what. Y'all let me know if y'all can see me. But if not, because I got a phone call and it messed up my camera. Okay, got you. I mean, that's okay. I don't know what the hell happened. Don't know what happened because I got a phone call as I was talking. But let's see. Let's look at some of the comments. Joseph Sandberg says, I think Makuba will be an upgraded safety position. I love him, man. I really do. I really do. He's a hell of a player. That's what I'm like. I know we keep saying corner. Man, I would love one of these damn safeties. And I think Dallas loves him too. I do. And I think he has some nickel qualities, some slot qualities that you might be able to use. So yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, my sister was calling me, but yeah, let me answer a couple more questions and I got to roll because hopefully it's not something super important. You guys know I'm dealing with all of these, all this funeral stuff and all this type of stuff. So not sure why the camera's not working, but let's see. How far are you willing to trade back in the first? I'm not necessarily saying the first. I probably would trade back. I would try and trade up into the second, high in the second, and it just depends. Like I really like Henderson. I really like I like Quinshawn. I like Caleb. So it just depends. It just depends on how the run goes on running backs because it's going to hit. It's going to happen. And you just hope that the damage isn't too bad. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let me call my sister back, y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. You guys know I'll be here tomorrow morning too as well. And we'll talk good football, great football. Thank y'all for coming by, man. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button on the way out. And yeah, appreciate y'all. Love you. Peace.